you've been criticized for appropriation. How different styles that you use and that kind of thing. But I also think it's very ironic that your work is always appropriated by your friend Glenn Beck. And it's just no, but you know what I mean. He has now in the backdrop. He's taken your style, and I've even seen a version, a portrait of him done, rendered again in your style.
I think George Washington should be more offended than me. It's his picture behind Glenn Beck. Anyway, I mean, the way I feel about references is that, basically since the invention of the printing press, images have been disseminated widely, and that's part of language, it's part of communication. So, especially the period of time that I came up through in the late 80s, early 90s in skateboard and music culture, it was all about irreverent appropriation. Ever since the creation of pop art, Warhol with the soup can of Maryland, using appropriated elements from pop culture has been part of a lot of not only the fine art world, but a huge part of this sort of hipster pop culture world, the album cover graphics and T-shirts and skateboarding. So it actually never crossed my mind to be at all self-conscious about using pre-existing elements, but re-illustrating them or re-presenting them in a new context in a way that changed their meaning, because that's the nature of communication, with all the modern technology. But it's some people disagree. They think that art happens because something comes to you in a dream, and then you paint it, and you don't work from references. I feel comfortable enough with bringing something of me, of my style, of what I do, to any subject matter that I tackle, even if it's something someone feels like they've seen an element of before or they've never seen before. I think it's all it's all part of the communication I'm trying to make. But art's very subjective, and it should be. So people are welcome to disagree with me.
Sure. Music is a big part of your life, and I've always admired the way that you have, you look at certain musicians as your heroes. You've mentioned Joe Strummer, Bob Marley, many others. But it's not just that you like their music; it's that you're behind. You feel, well, you like what they're saying. And you told me once that Joe Strummer from The Clash allowed you sort of realized with him that you could be cool and socially conscious at the same time. So can you talk to me about that?
Well, I think one last point about the reference stuff. The idea that a lot of people have, first of all, you can't own a style. You shouldn't be able to own a style. When people, I've been influenced by a lot of different styles, from Russian constructivism to Jamie Reed's graphics for the Sex Pistols, Barbara Kruger, various graffiti artists. There's a lot of Warhol, a lot of influences for me. When I see people doing what could be an homage to my work, or people like Yoga Biden or whatever, they used red, they can't do that because it's also absurd to me because that is the nature of communication. There's some things that I see where people lift something and they're really just trying to usurp the value of something I've created for their own benefit. And that's disappointing, but I'd actually rather spend my time just making more stuff than worrying about what they're doing, for the most part. I think the less lawyers are used in society overall, the better. So, that's where I stand on most of that. I mean, I see it all the time, and a lot of people, a lot of lawyers are ambulance chasers, and a lot of people see, when they see something ripped off, they go, that's your opportunity to cash in, you should go do that. I say, you know what, I'm just really thankful that I still have more ideas that I think I can make into artwork, and I can just keep going rather than having to try to figure out a way to exploit things I've already done.
Yeah. Well, and the image of Obama was widely used, but there was blatant.
Yeah, there was a huge amount of unauthorized use of that image, and my feeling about it was that it would be great if everyone that was using that image was donating money to the campaign like I was, but just the visibility, the pervasiveness of the image would benefit Obama because it made it made him seem that much more popular, valid, mainstream, all the things that the Maverick was trying to say weren't the case. So I don't want to get into digress into an Obama discussion. I'm not totally happy with everything about how things have gone down since Obama was elected. But I think kids shouldn't have health care and they should just die in the streets. But one thing that I am very proud of about that poster is that it was a piece of grassroots activism that came not from a lobbyist, not from a corporation, not even from within the campaign itself. It proves that we aren't just spectators in this democracy. I love Noam Chomsky, but he always says it's a spectator democracy, and in many cases it is, but we're not completely powerless. And so if that image, whether you dig Obama or not, would make someone want to put the effort forth to participate in democracy, then I think it has great value. So, yeah, now we can talk about that, Sean.
Okay.